Good morning, folks. I can feel the itching to keep discussing yesterday's top story. Billy and I recorded about 25 minutes of discussion last night going over all the journalism surrounding the scientific release. I'm applauding some of it and horrified at the audacity of so-called experts and others. Lots of chatter abounding, but much of it is not even aimed at the actual issues. I'll try to get that video posted for you tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, let's come to spaceweathernews.com and start zoomed in with the last 24 hours of our star that began with a pop in CME that occurred right after yesterday's news. The ejecta is not Earth-directed, but we do indeed get the visual splendor of a gorgeous canyon of fire, a solar tsunami. It produced Sea Flare Mountain there, standing alone in the middle of the last day of solar flaring. On the north, we can see a couple plasma filaments dancing in now. There'll be eruption threats this week. See if you can spot the dark coronal cavity oval positioned atop the filament. If the coronal fields up there don't settle down, those filaments won't survive long enough to face Earth. And of course, this isn't the big story on that quadrant of the Earth-facing disk. That belongs to the sunspots, biggest ones in weeks, and this will provide a true test of the Earth-facing solar quiet effect. You can see the umbral magnetic field loops here in 171 angstroms. All of those connect positive sunspots to negative sunspots. Their interactions are what help drive flaring, so let's peek in on them. They've got size down, but let's see about the magnetism. Red negative in front with blue positive in back, and don't forget that the surrounding colors are not part of the sunspots, but they're the surface plaguing or the penumbral magnetism, which is not what we look for in terms of flaring. This actually needs that empty area in the middle to gain some umbras before it can go hard. Solar wind speed is dropping fast, and we've returned to ambient calm in near-Earth space and in Earth's magnetic systems. Next thing coming is a coronal hole, but you'll remember the previous one, powerful coronal holes that also triggered a number of large quakes. Well, this current opening facing us is still turning, and its stream will arrive to Earth tonight or tomorrow. But I'm leaning towards tomorrow given the lack of outward power associated with that opening. Another reason why our quaking has been depressed with this event compared to the last one. A point of unfathomable frustration. For 3 years now, we've watched the SOHO LASCO feeds be pristine, unless a relevant CME or sun-diving comet comes in which case the data begins jumping, missing frames, and being delayed sometimes an entire day. Well, about 10 days ago, we said we had a plan to expose that entire thing, and since that night, they have skipped and jumped and delayed every 8 hours. So literally, beginning 8 hours after that statement, the SOHO feeds appear glitchy all the time now. Convenient. Anyway, down under, take a breather. I'm focused well north of you. Typhoon really snuck in there to the Philippines. It was just a weak little thing 36 hours ago, but now we've got wind and flood threats, and of course, because it's the Philippines, we worry about seismicity beneath the Earth spot. Eyes open. Coming to the United States, we can see the eastern convergence of the low-pressure Earth spot in the middle of the country. That spin is slamming warm, moist air into frigid, dry air right at the storm line, and when you have to equalize pressure, moisture, temperature, and electric potential, you're going to have energetic release and movement. We're also going to come over to the North Atlantic, where 2 more systems are dancing in here. Take a moment to mention the temperature differential between Eastern and Western Europe is bonkers right now. Folks, as I said, I got a video I hope to finish for you and get out to you tonight. It will appear on the Deeper Look page of suspiciousobservers.org, and it will be public. Just a reminder, the conference videos will become members' content in 2016, so at this point, stragglers, you're really running out of excuses, aren't you? And of course, we hope you come out to our last public event for at least a while. Phoenix 2016, no better place to be in January. We've got your current global conditions and shots of our star to close. It's 5:55 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.